to The View. This is the biggest day in the history of The View because making her final walkout as co-host of The View, please welcome the amazing, the fabulous, the woman who hired everyone at this table, the amazing Barbara Walters.
You have raised the TV interview to such a high art. The only person who's truly qualified to interview you is you. But you can't do that, can you?
Yes, I can. Take a look.
First, may I say that it is both an honor and a privilege for you to be interviewed by me.
Let me ask you, when you conceived The View, you said, I wanted to do a show with women with different views. Any regrets?
Well, at the time, little did I know that I would be surrounded by 4 cackling hens all speaking over each other where I couldn't get a word in edgewise. A far cry from my respected work on the ABC News program, 2020. It has been said about me, and I quote, she's a tough broad, and she's all business. But since my time on The View, people have gotten to see a fun, almost whimsical side of me that some swear previously never existed.
Believe me, it existed.
As you can read in my best-selling book, Audition, where I write about having a no-holds-barred sexual affair with a black man.
Do you want the exact page number? Should I underline it?
169. Not a coincidence.
When you first started The View, did you have any idea that it would turn into the juggernaut success that it would become?
Yes, I did, and I take complete credit. Although I did have a little help from my longtime friend and executive producer, Bill Getty. Barbara, what was your fondest moment with Bill? Because my fondest moment with Bill was in 1972. I was in a hot tub with Burt Bacharach, Henry Kissinger, the Captain Antonio, and that irrepressible funny man, Shecky Green. We drank Mai Tais and speculated about the Vietnam War till little Burgess Meredith entered the tub and asked if we'd like to meet his new friend, Mary Jane.
That didn't happen.
The Black Sea, 1981. I was at a Russian hoedown with Mikhail Gorbachev, R.J. Wagner, Smokin' Joe Frazier, Dom DeLuise, and an already liquored-up teenager by the name of Vlad Putin. R.J. and Smokin' Joe had gotten into a quarrel, which prompted Mikhail and I to steal away on our horses to his dacha, where we showered ourselves in Stoli-peppered vodka till the light of the morning sun.
Can I ask you something? How do you think that you will spend your time after leaving The View?
Well, I've accomplished so much in my career, but there are certain things that I feel like I've missed out on. Ordinary things, like I'd like to get a Costco card. I'd also like to visit the theme park, Magic Mountain, with my beloved and trusted companion, Cha-Cha.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm so touched.
Barbara, I have loved doing you. Uh-oh, sounds like someone owes me dinner.
We'll be right back with the real, I don't know who, just stay with us.
Barbara, on behalf of women everywhere, we thank you for blazing the trail.
Barbara, thanks for taking the road less traveled by so we could follow in your path.
You were the trailblazer who set the stage for me and so many other women in broadcasting. I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Barbara, without you, this would not have been possible for me. So thank you.
You'll always be the gold standard, Barbara. Thanks for blazing the trail.
Barbara Walters inspired me to know I would sit on the anchor desk one day, even though I didn't fit the stereotype.
Interviewing you changed the way I interviewed for the rest of my career. You are the standard we all emulate.
Barbara, those were reporters from ABC affiliates around the country who Barbara inspired to pursue her career in TV journalism. But they're not the only ones on television who say they owe a huge debt to Barbara. Here's another. Please welcome Oprah Winfrey.
Of course I'm here. I had to be here today, Barbara.
Barbara is so shocked, Oprah.
I had to be here for your last show to celebrate you because of what you have meant to me. You have literally meant the world to me, this world. And the truth is, there are so many things I want to say, but there just isn't enough time to say them all. Like everyone else, I want to thank you for being a pioneer and everything that that word means. It means being the first in the room, to knock down the door, to break down the barriers, to pave the road that we all walk on. I thank you for that. And I thank you for the courage it took every day to get up and to keep doing it. During those days when you'd walk into ABC News, World News Tonight, and your co-anchor didn't want you to sit there, I thank you for the courage it took to keep getting up every day and sitting in that chair. And I thank you for the stamina. Anybody who works in this business knows that what do we got that they ain't got? We got stamina. The stamina that it takes. Because you're really the reason why we're all here. You're the reason why I wanted to be in television. And as you embark on this next chapter of your life, I wish for you all that you also wished for me at the time. You said, I want you to take a little rest.
I do. I say that to you all the time.
You say that to me still. I not only want you to rest, I want you to have everything that your heart desires. You deserve it. Everything that your heart desires.
I never expected you to be here today. I am so moved. She used to imitate me when she tried out for jobs. I'm responsible for her whole
this is the last time I'm going to tell the story. That when I auditioned for my first television job, I walked in not knowing what to do, so I pretended to be Barbara Walters.
I love that.
I pretended I sat like Barbara, I crossed my legs like Barbara, I tried to talk like Barbara. I had Barbara in my head for about a year until one night I mispronounced Canada and called it Canada. And that was not what Barbara Walters would do. And it was the first time I had a breakthrough to start being myself. But you paved the road for that to happen for me. So I want to show everybody a clip from tonight's primetime special, Barbara Walters, Her Story, airing on ABC from 9 to 11 p.m. as she looks back on her career. Here's a taste of what we can expect to see.
Barbara Walters, who has been on the NBC Today program for 13 years, signed a contract with ABC today.
Her contract for a rumored $1 million a year specifies that she'll co-anchor the ABC Evening News, among other network appearances.
Why did you leave NBC for ABC?
I'd like to say they made me an offer I couldn't refuse. But here was my chance, historic, they told me, to be the first female co-anchor of a network news program.
How big a deal was that in 1976 to have a woman co-anchoring the network news?
In those days, nobody thought it was possible.
Harry Reasoner, Barbara Walters, bring you the news.
I have a new colleague to welcome. Barbara?
Thank you, Harry.
How many of you watched Barbara Walters last night on her initial? She started. That'll make Barbara real happy. $1 million and 2 guys tuned in.
Your co-anchor, Harry Reasoner, wasn't thrilled about sitting next to you. Was it because you're a woman or because he didn't think you were qualified to sit next to him?
Harry Reasoner did not want a partner. If he was going to have a partner, he certainly didn't want me. He didn't want someone without that, quote, hard news background, and he certainly didn't want a woman.
By noting that I've kept time on your stories and mine tonight, you owe me 4 minutes.
The news business was a man's business.
Take three. Cue Barbara.
Good evening. He was insulted. He felt he was being degraded. Harry could never really accept me.
Thank you very much, Barbara. Good night.
I have to shoot an arrow into Barbara Walters.
You mean you're making her fall in love with Harry Reasoner?
No. Harry just paid me to shoot her.
Just didn't care.
Stay away.
Okay, nice to see you. How about it?
People did not watch you on the ABC Evening News. Did you take that personally?
I remember reading the headline in one of the papers, Barbara Walters' failure. I felt I was drowning without a life preserver. The $1 million contract was not just for me to do the news, but for me to do a series of 1-hour primetime specials.
The Barbara Walters Special.
The specials saved my life.
Good evening, I'm Barbara Walters.
As everybody has said, you've been a trailblazer in broadcast journalism, shattering the glass ceiling for so many women and for so many yet to come. And many of the incredible women that have been influenced by you, and we all have been influenced by you, are here for you today. And we all proudly stand on your shoulders, Barbara Walters, as we honor you. Please welcome Diane Sawyer, Robin Roberts, Lara Spencer, Elizabeth Vargas, Amy Robart, Deborah Roberts, Juju Chang, Katie Couric, Savannah Guthrie, Natalie Morales, Tamron Hall, Maria Shriver, Cynthia McFadden, Meredith Vieira, Kathy Lee Gifford, Hoda Kotb, Jane Pauley, Gail King, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, Gretchen Carlson, Lisa Ling, Deborah Norville, Paula Zahn, Connie Chung, Joan London.
This is my legacy. These are my legacy. And I thank you, all of you.
We want to thank Oprah Winfrey and all of these incredible women on stage with us right now. When we come back, Barbara has the last word.
How do you say goodbye to something like 50 years in television? The good news is that I will have time now to get Botox. But now that I'm no longer going to be on the air, I don't need Botox. But starting soon, I may be available for supermarket openings and charity auctions. For a $10 bid, you can have lunch with me. For a $20 bid, you don't have to. There will also be time now for me to not have to rise at 4 a.m. as I did for 13 years to do a morning show. No need anymore to head a news magazine like 2020 as I did for something like a quarter of a century. Makes my head ache. No need to think of covering my head when interviewing such majesties as the King of Saudi Arabia. And no need to be apprehensive about interviewing the non-majesty, the president of Syria. But also no feeling of the peace that warmed me when I met with the Dalai Lama, or the sense of accomplishment trying to navigate between the competing heads of Egypt and Israel. What an honor to have questioned every U.S. president and first lady from Richard and Pat to Barack and Michelle. So how do you walk away from glamorous specials with the Toms, Hanks and Cruz, or flirt with Clint Eastwood? Maybe it's my time for him. And pay homage to one-of-a-kind women like Bette Davis and Angelina Jolie. And how do you create a television show called The View that puts together these wonderful women, all of them over the years, and especially this group, who have shared their contrasting opinions for almost 18 years now. And I will remain executive producer on The View along with Bill. How do you work for 25 years with a partner like Bill Getty, the special guy who has produced something like 4,000 episodes of The View and over 100 prime-time specials with me, not to mention, over the years, sipping over 1,000 martinis with me, but who's counting? And also, how could you be part of a cutting-edge news department for 38 years? Not that it was all sunshine and Valentine's. True, I was the first female co-host of a network news program, but it's also true that I was a flop. As you heard, my male co-host didn't want a partner, and neither did the audience. I was drowning, I was gasping for air, and then someone threw me that life preserver called Specials, with the biggest stars in news and show business, and I learned how to swim again. And finally, how proud when I see all the young women who are making and reporting the news. If I did anything to help that happen, that's my legacy. So now, having had this amazing career, how can I just walk away and say goodbye? This way, from the bottom of my heart to all of you with whom I have worked and to all of you who have watched and been at my side for so many years, I can say thank you, but then who knows what the future brings? Maybe instead of goodbye, I should say à bientôt, which in French means see you later. So, à bientôt. But wait, I can never leave without doing a plug, right? So I'd like to give a plug. I know, I'm ashamed of myself. I am ashamed of myself, but that will not stop me, Whoopi. So for my next special tonight, there will be a 2-hour special on ABC from 9 to 11.